Okay, the girls are having tiffs today. I wish I could catch it on video. They're having little tiffs. I don't know what's going on, but the girls are having a tiff. But anyways, today we are talking about King's Ransom, Book 2. And uh, we did this one yesterday, so please go check out the review on this one. And this is today's. And it hit me. I was like 90% of the way through this book and it hit me. And I'm like, you're an idiot. How could it not occur to you sooner than that? But that's the point. I'm an idiot. But if you could please like and subscribe to my channel, I would so much appreciate it. It would make me feel so much better. And hey, this is the D. Louise Book Series channel. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no themes, none of that special stuff going on here. So, somebody is... Alright, we have Gabrielle, who's a recovery agent. We have Rafer, who's her ex-husband, but he's also a tag-along. And he's not really a true partner, but he's a tag-along partner. And anyway, his best friend, Harley, who really doesn't like to do anything and is really very lazy, got really, really lucky, or really, really unlucky. Through a series of fortunate or unfortunate series of events, he got promoted to bank president. And he got to sign all these loans. They told him just to sign them. They would work. They were good. And the collateral was all this art. And there was a Ponzi scheme type situation going on. You'll have to read the book for the details. I'm not going to spiel. But they were framing Harley for the thefts. So he was going to end up going to jail because it was like billions of dollars. It was a gold coffin. It was the Rosetta Stone. It was all these different, the Mona Lisa. All these different art pieces were stolen from museums all over the world that were supposedly safeguarded and secured, and they were used for the loans. And Harley is situated and framed very convincingly to be the fall guy of this scheme. And somebody warns him, but he's so busy living the high life of bank president and going to all these lunches and conventions, he doesn't pay attention to his emails for some people that tell him, hey, look, this is going on. So he runs away, and he runs to Rafer, and Rafer takes him to Gabriella. And Gabriella works to recover these stolen items. And there were these people, and it's really too much to get into, but the Rosetta, it was an inside job, and it was these situations where it happens in a lot of the movies. The bad guy hires a bunch of bad guys to perform a task, and he's going to pay them really well. And everybody kills everybody to prevent everybody from being a witness situation. So, like, everybody gets killed but the top guy because no one saw the top guy. But all the little minions get killed. The ones that were hired, they all get killed. So that's what's happening in the book. The minions start getting killed off. The ones that perform the task and then hit the item and report it to their boss, hey, the item's here. So then the boss goes, kills them, and gets the item. And it's a series, and they're looking for... They find one item, then they go on a hunt for another one. Then this bad guy comes in. It's Ahmed. I could introduce all the different bad guys to you, but this is one of the bigger ones. Ahmed Al-Ghali is a former Special Forces colonel living in London. He's supposedly working at the Egyptian embassy as a cult liaison for the protection of Egyptian national treasures. But there are some who suspect him of covert recovery work for the Egyptian National Intelligence Service. And there were some other things he's doing. I'm really not sure which side of the fence he might just straddle the good and the bad side. His motives are not clear, but he does some bad things in the book. So who knows? But I realized when I said before that I was an idiot, it's not funny. And I'm gonna put these in a list. I need to put these in a list. These are funny. I related to these characters. I got to know these characters. I cared for these characters. I'm not feeling it for these people. And that's what hit me. It's not funny. It's a straightforward whodunit. It's a straightforward search for items. This is funny. This whole series. Go check out all my videos. I'm gonna put them in a list. 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get deadly, 4 score, high 5, hot 6, 7 up, hard 8 to the 9s, 10 big ones. These are funny. You care about Stephanie, Grandma Mazur, and her mother, and Ranger, and Morelli, and Lula. You care about these people. You get to know these people. I didn't care about these. I didn't have. I just. It just didn't hit me. I wasn't. Um. And there are other books. I didn't like the other Plum Love and Plum Lucky. I didn't like those either. But I didn't feel a connection to the characters. They haven't grown on me yet. And then I was thinking about the fact that she has another couple. This couple. This was funny. They were good at their jobs. They were relatable. I enjoyed these books. There's not too many of them. There's 5 or 6. I forget. I didn't count. I didn't go over there and count when I grabbed this one. I have the whole series. But this is funny. Their relationship is funny. It's interesting. It's relatable. It's likable. I didn't like too much about this book. And to tell you the truth, every single time, 100% of the time, someone, Janet or one of her peoples or whoever, posted about this book coming out. They asked about Stephanie. Nobody really wanted this one. They were like, oh, there are some people. There are 2 sides to the story. There are some people that will say negative things. And then there are some people, there's always somebody out there that goes, oh, great, wonderful. There's always that person. And then there's always the opposite person. So when's the next Stephanie coming out? But these were funny. These were relatable. I enjoyed these books. I got to know the characters. I'm not doing so well with this. I love these characters. We are all anxiously awaiting the next book because the last book ended on a smidgen of a cliffhanger. And we were all pissed off that we'd waited 30 books and we didn't get to see the big event. We were told the big event happened. We weren't present. It happened off stage. As one of my authors will tell you, not Laurel over there. Laurel says it all the time. If you go to lunch with the characters and you sit down and have a lunch and they have a discussion, that's on stage. But if you're told in the book, Sally and Joe went to lunch yesterday and this is what happened, that's off stage. So the big event happened off stage and no one was pleased. No one. So, like I said, it was good. It was detailed. It was interesting. There's a lot of, facts or fiction facts. I don't know. I didn't research the tomb, and they're going all over Egypt and all the stuff that happens. And, it's a good book. But I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I read it. I wanted to. I bought the book. I paid full freight for the book, which I was kind of pissed off. I could have waited a few months and it would have shown in the bookshop, and I could have got it for $5 because that's how the the shop works. About 6 months or 7 months after the book comes out, we'll get a whole bunch, especially Janet. We'll have 10 or 15 or 20 of these in 6 months, and I could have waited and got it for $5, but I spent the full freight at Christmas for it, and I'm kind of pissed off at myself for doing that. I could have bought something else. I could have bought I could have bought 5 or 6 mass markets. Hell, in the bookshop, we can get them 3 for $1. Mass markets 3 for $1. Hell, during a good sale, when we have an abundance, they go 6 for $1. And there's some good books that come through the shop. Sorry you don't live near me. But, so anyways, like I said, this was enjoyable. I like this series. It was funny. They had a good relationship. They were good at their jobs. Or he was good at his job. It reminded me of Rourke and Eve. He's a little raucous. She's a little Stephanie-ish, but not that much. But this, I just didn't feel it. I just didn't feel it. So, we're waiting on the next Stephanie Plum book for November of this year, hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't think we'll be seeing any more of these, but there's like 6 of them. I'll have to do them at some point. But these are cute. These are funny. These I like to sit and talk about. These I like to sit and talk about. This, not so much. But you have to read it to find out where they find all the treasure. Who has all the treasure? Because it's like a little trail of breadcrumbs. And they go around in circles a couple times, and it's a very long, winding maze to the end. But it's good. It's, she writes quality stuff. I just didn't feel it. I just didn't feel it. So, don't forget to check out Flashback Mondays and If Then Fridays and Star Trek Voyager recaps. And if you haven't watched all the Star Trek Next Generation recaps, go watch those with the audio issues. Good God. Have a good one.